Everybody, welcome to our Thursday night masterclass. Really quickly, before we get started, I just want to make sure that everybody can see my screen and hear me okay. Just type a 1 in the chat box if you can hear me okay and you can see my screen. I just want to make sure that everything's working okay before we get started. All right, cool. All right, so today what we're going to be talking about is something we've been talking about a lot lately, but we're going to kind of take it to another level. Lately, we've been talking a lot about building your email list, creating your squeeze pages, how to get people to join your list, and how to communicate with your subscribers a little bit. So today, we're going to take it like one level deeper. We're going to talk about building a tribe. Because in order to really have success online, if you really want to make a lot of money, you have to think of it as offering value to your subscribers. You can't really you can't think of your email list as just a source of money, right? If you think about your email list just in terms of dollars and cents, what's going to end up happening is you're not going to really build the level of trust and build that type of relationship with your subscribers that's really going to ultimately lead to the big bucks. So it's kind of counterintuitive, but at the end of the day, you really have to view your list as a tribe that you're leading, more so than just a source of income, right? So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about how to build your tribe and how to communicate with your tribe. So the first thing is, and this is a term that we've used a lot, when we refer to all of the digital insiders, that's, we don't treat our digital insiders like just an email list, right? I mean, you guys have access to a Facebook group where you can communicate with us anytime you want. You can communicate with each other regularly, and we really do make it our #1 priority to help you guys have success online. So that's how you should treat your tribe. Try to help them achieve the goal. When you promise them that you're going to help them build an online business or get in better shape or find romance or whatever market it is that you're in, when you promise them something, you really have to do your best to deliver. So the first thing, of course, when you have your first interaction with your potential tribe members, that's going to be through your squeeze page, where you first sign them up to your email list. So in order to get people to join your email list or join your tribe, you really have to give them some type of incentive, right? You can't just say, hey, enter your email below to join my tribe. You have to give them a reason, a little bit more of a reason than just, hey, click below and I'm going to send you a bunch of emails, right? So first thing you have to do is think about how you're going to incentivize people to join your tribe. And you want to think about when you're creating your squeeze page, like what is the real goal of creating your squeeze page? So I mean, of course, it's to build an email list and to get subscribers, and you want to generate targeted leads and make money online, right? You want to be able to build an email list that's going to be profitable for you, and you want to make sure that you're getting targeted leads. But you really need to think about the function. What is the function of the squeeze in terms of building a tribe? So it's to find, first of all, our ideal customers. Now, keep in mind that you don't have to try to appeal to everybody. In fact, the more people that you're trying to appeal to, the less you're going to resonate with everybody, and it's going to be really hard to build a tribe. So when you're thinking about building your tribe, think about who your ideal customer is. Who is it that you are really trying to help, right? Think about, there's a lot of people, and I'm just going to use the Make Money Online market as an example because that's what I know a lot of people are here promoting digital altitude, and that's what a lot of people are doing. I know there's some people are doing some other stuff, but the majority of everybody here is really promoting digital altitude. So I'm using that as an example. There's a lot of people, right? There's a lot of people that are interested in making money online. Like there's men, women, young kids, 18-year-olds, all the way up to 70-year-olds, or there's people of all ages. People from all different countries that have different primary languages. Like there's a lot of there's a lot of people out there. There's a huge market. But if you really want to have success, you can't try to appeal to everybody, right? Just like a simple example is you can't get everybody that speaks French and everybody that speaks English. I mean, because your squeeze page is going to have too much text on it, right? You're going to have English squeeze page with like French subtitles. It's not really going to work as well. So that's just kind of a very like simple example. But at the end of the day, you have to think about who it is that you're really trying to target, is my point. You have to think about who your ideal customer is. And, maybe you'll get some other people to join your tribe that don't fit the exact description, the exact, they don't fall into the exact category of your ideal customer, and that's fine. Maybe they'll stick around with you for a while, maybe they won't, but it's not a big deal. As long as you're making your focus to reach whoever your ideal customer is, then your marketing communications are going to resonate a lot more strongly with those people, and you're going to be able to build a lot more trust, build a strong relationship, and help them achieve their goals better. And ultimately, you'll make more money too. So keep that in mind. And we're going to dive into that a little bit more deeper here in a moment once we get into communicating with our subscribers. But I just want to plant that seed that you don't have to, and you shouldn't be trying to please everybody. You should really figure out who it is that your target market is. And then you can begin your relationship with them. You can get them to know, like, and trust you, which I'll explain that in a little more detail here in a moment, and offer them a solution to whatever their problem is, right? Because when they land on your squeeze page, essentially you want to identify a problem that they have and let them know that you have a solution. And in order to get the solution, they need to enter their email address. So again, this is the beginning of our relationship with them. So we don't want to just promise them one thing, not deliver on it, and then just start sending them a bunch of promotional emails. You want to start by really offering them value. Show them that you really want to help them achieve their goals and find a solution to their problem. You also want to demonstrate leadership. You don't want to come out just promoting stuff, just hammering them to death with promotions. You need to demonstrate that you can help them achieve their goal. And even if you haven't had a whole lot of success in the market that you're promoting in right now, it's okay. I'm going to explain to you towards the end of this presentation exactly how you can demonstrate a leadership without having to prove to your audience that you've made $1 million online when you haven't, right? So you should never be lying to your audience. You're not going to be able to build trust with them when you're just making stuff up. So you definitely have to be honest with your audience, and there's multiple ways to do that without making stuff up, without saying that you've done something that you haven't. So I will explain that a little bit more towards the end of the presentation. And then also remember that you really want to welcome them. Your welcome email and your thank you page, your welcome page, ideally you really want to make them feel like they're going to get a lot of value when you welcome them to your tribe. So just when you're crafting your welcome email, keep that in mind. You want to give them a warm welcome and let them know that you're going to how you're going to help them achieve the goal that you promised. So when we're collecting the email address, we're not just telling them, hey, enter your email address and we'll send you some promotions. No, we want to help them solve a problem. So we want to give them some type of value in exchange for that email address. If you just have like a blank, a plain white page with a form on it and nothing else, nobody's going to enter their email address in that form. So, excuse me, sorry guys. Let me turn that off. Okay, so you want to offer them some type of incentive. I'll give you some examples of types of incentive. I'm talking about like ebooks, free reports, video, something like that. And then you also want to, when you're doing this, demonstrate authority. So if you're giving away an ebook, for example, one of the best ways to demonstrate authority while also giving your subscribers an incentive to sign up to your list is when you either custom write yourself, or you can even actually have somebody else write it for you, and like just put your name on it. I'll show you some websites where you can get that done. But by creating an ebook that is informative, helpful to your audience, that is crafted by you, that's going to help demonstrate that you're an authority. It's also going to build trust, and it's even an opportunity to pre-sell. So when you're offering some type of incentive, whether it be an ebook, video, or what have you, this is an opportunity to pre-sell them on some type of promotion. So I know a lot of you guys might be sending your traffic directly from a squeeze page right to like a Digital Insiders or the digital altitude sales pages and stuff like that, which is fine. But when you really get down to it, you really want to offer a lot of value to your email list. Sometimes offering maybe a welcome video before sending them off to that sales page, or offering them an ebook or whatever, and where you can welcome them and kind of introduce yourself to them, and also pre-sell them on the promotion that you're about to send them to. That can really help to build a lot of trust with your audience and help you establish a relationship with them where you can continue to build on that, going forward. So again, here's a few different types of incentives. You can create an ebook or guide, like how-to guide, something like that. Free report, checklist, maybe an interview. Maybe you could interview somebody that has a lot of experience and has had some success in your market, and give that away as a incentive to get people to sign up to your email list. You could do a webinar, so you could do a live webinar yourself, or you can give a recorded webinar if you wanted to. A video. Might be a physical product. I've seen people that promote actual, give away physical products through squeeze pages. You simply enter your email address to get access to this physical product, and then typically they're going to tell you that you have to pay for shipping or something like that. But it is a possibility to send out physical products even through a squeeze page when you're building a digital email list. A list of resources, a list of important resources and tools that are going to help them achieve their goal. A done-for-you template. Like we give away, templates on, like our squeeze page templates and email templates, stuff like that, or even access to a private group. So maybe you put together a private Facebook group, and in order to join, they first sign up to your email list, and then you give them access to your private Facebook group. And a lot of this stuff, like the videos and ebooks, a lot of times people I know get kind of turned off right away. They think, oh, I don't want to have to write an ebook, like I'm not a very good writer and things like that, which is fine. You actually don't have to write it yourself. There's several websites that you can go get this stuff done for you. So I just wanted to list these right here real quick. If you're not familiar with these, there's Fiverr.com. I'm just going to put all of these in the chat box right now so you guys can check them out. We got Fiverr.com, where you can get stuff done as low as $5 to start with, but typically for things like ebooks, it'll be like $5 for a certain number of lines, and then you have to pay per 100 words or whatever it is. Upwork, where you can typically get a better quality stuff a lot of times done, and you can actually get a lot more stuff, I think, probably through Upwork with professionals that have a lot of experience. Tends to be a little bit more expensive. And then there's iWriter.com, and this is specifically if you're getting like an ebook or something written, and you can get that done relatively inexpensive at iWriter.com. So there's 3 resources for you. I put those all in the chat box so you guys can check those out. Now, another thing, I got one other thing for you. In terms of if you're trying to get ideas for your squeeze page or incentives to offer, this is a cheat sheet that will give you even more ideas than what I already gave you in the previous slide. So I'm just going to put this in the chat box. All you do is go to that website, and it's completely free. You just get a free PDF that'll download automatically. They'll give you guys some more ideas for incentives that you can offer your tribe when you're putting together your squeeze page. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to take a sip of water. All right. So once you do get people to join your tribe, to join your email list, then you have to communicate with them the right way. So you have to communicate with them in a way that's going to resonate with them. It's going to help you build trust, and it's going to ultimately, once they have enough trust with you, allow you to be able to promote things where you're going to now be able to make a profit off your email list. So like I was getting to a little bit earlier, the first thing that you need to do is choose your target audience. Now, what a lot of people kind of forget is that you actually get to choose your audience. The market doesn't necessarily choose your audience for you, right? Because especially when you're getting into something as broad as make money online or health and wellness, things like that, it applies to so many people that you can really choose who you want to talk to, who you want to target. So it could be maybe a kid that's in college that needs to make a little bit of extra money to pay for bills. Maybe it's somebody that's in their 30s that is just tired of their job. They don't like their career. They want something completely different. They don't want to have to go to work, and they would like to quit their job, retire early. Or maybe you have, senior citizens that that are living on a fixed income, and they're afraid that they're going to, maybe outlive their retirement savings. So they need to figure out a way to make some more money without having to necessarily go back and join the workforce. So those are just 3 examples. There's a million, different types of people out there that are interested in making money online. But those are some different examples of how, completely different people all want the same thing. They'd want the same type of product. They'd all probably be, those types of people could be interested in digital altitude or something similar. But you're going to communicate with each one of those people much, much differently. So again, remember, if your market is everyone, your market is no one. If your market is just anybody that wants to make money online, then you're not going to resonate very strongly with anybody. If your market is college students that need a little bit of extra income to pay their bills while they're in school, then when you communicate to them, and you communicate just to that type of person, like, hey, your squeeze page or like your a promotion could go start out something along the lines of, hey, are you struggling to are you tired of eating ramen or something like that? Are you just tired of eating ramen, like sitting in your dorm room eating ramen every night? Wouldn't you like to be able to go out to a nice dinner every now and then? Well, with this, I've got the solution for you. You can make an extra, $2,000, $3,000 a month from your dorm room without taking away from your study time. Yada, 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 right? So when you're communicating to that person, when you're communicating in that manner, of course that's not going to appeal to the 70-year-old person that's retired and looking for an extra income to supplement their retirement savings. Of course it's not. But it's going to resonate very strongly with that college student, which is ultimately going to get their attention and get them to listen to you, and it's going to help you build trust so that you can promote your products to them. Now, unsubscribers are actually a good thing, too. So this is a common misconception. When people are building an email list, they take all this time to create their squeeze page and, write good emails and really try to connect with their audience. And then they have people unsubscribing from their list and they get frustrated. But the fact of the matter is, that's actually a good thing. That means that your communications are just not resonating with those people, which is fine. Because if you have your target audience dialed in and you know exactly who it is that you want to be a part of your tribe, those people are going to join, and you might get some people that join that are maybe interested in making money online, but they don't quite connect. You don't quite connect with them, and that's fine. Not everybody's not going to connect with everybody. Not everybody's going to like you. That's perfectly fine. Those people are going to unsubscribe, and now you don't have to worry about them. So just keep that in mind when you're seeing that people are unsubscribing from your list. That just means that you're not resonating with those people, and those aren't the people that you're trying to target anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's good, let them go. Now, when you're trying to decide, okay, who is this person that I want to target? Who is my core target audience? There's a lot of questions that you need to start asking yourself, and the more specific you get, the better. So the more questions you ask and you get an answer, the better. So a lot of times when we create these buyer personas, we actually name them. So we'll just make a name for our customer avatar, as it's often called. So you could say, okay, James is 25 years old, he's single, he does no children, he lives in United States, he's college educated, etc. And that's just the person that you're going to target. And then whenever you're crafting your marketing communications, you can always ask yourself, okay, is this going to really resonate with James? Is this going to resonate with this guy that I made up? And if it doesn't, then you need to get back to the drawing board and try to write something else. So think about that. Name your customer avatar, your buyer persona. Think about how old is this person? Are they married? Do they have children? Where they live? Where were they born? What's their education level? High school, college, graduate school? Are they? What's their profession? Maybe they're retired. Maybe they're unemployed. Maybe they could be a doctor. Or, what is their profession? What is their salary? How much money are they making? What are their political views, religious views, interests, hobbies? All of this stuff on the surface might not seem like it's necessarily relevant to your market, but it really is relevant to being able to communicate to your core target audience, understanding all of these different things about them. And you can go even deeper. What are their favorite brands? What are their favorite websites? What's their news source? Where do they get their news from? They get their news from Facebook or from TV or a newspaper, or where do they get their news? What social media are they on? Are they on Twitter or are they on Instagram primarily? What are their personal goals? What are their financial goals? What are their family and social goals? You just get as deep and as detailed as possible about this person, and it might seem like on the surface like you're just answering a bunch of BS questions, but the fact of the matter is you're actually just really, when you do this, when you go through this process and make a very, very, very specific customer avatar and you communicate only with that person, you're going to resonate extremely strongly with a very small portion of the larger market. But I guarantee it's going to be plenty of people, and you're going to be able to build a very loyal tribe that's going to hang on to every word that you have to say. They're going to open all your emails, and they're going to take your advice whenever it comes time to promoting products. Let me take a sip of water here. Does anybody have any questions at this point? Does this make sense so far? Do you guys feel like you're getting some value out of this? If you feel like you're getting a little bit of value out of this, at least, or you're learning something, type a 1 in the chat box, just so I know. Or if you feel like this is like completely like just stuff you've heard before, just type a 2 in the chat box so we can shift gears a little bit. Okay, cool. I'm seeing a lot of 1s, so that's good. At least it looks like we're on the right track. If you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat box anytime. I'll stop from time to time and try to answer your questions. But it seems like everybody's probably just taking notes at this point, so that's good. All right, so another thing that you need to think about is what types of problems are they having? Because at the end of the day, all you're trying to do, like when you're building a tribe of people that have a specific related problem that they're trying to solve. So you have to identify what problem are they having, and what is the solution. So you can think about it more along the lines of multiple problems too that are all stemming from one thing. Because let's say, okay, if we're trying to help people make money online, there could be a lot of problems in their life where the underlying root cause is that they don't have enough money, that they need to make more money. But think about, okay, let's use our college student as an example again. So what are some problems that a college student might have that doesn't have enough money? And at this point, I'll ask you guys to, let's brainstorm, let's use our thinking caps a little bit here, and give me an idea of some problems that you think that a college student might have in their life where, they just don't have enough money, and, can you give me a few examples of what you think, types of problems they might have because of that? Okay, so, yeah, exactly. So they don't have enough money to take a girl or guy out on a date, right? They don't have enough money to eat the food they want. Okay, so that could get very frustrating. They might be more stressed out than they normally would because they have additional, they have to worry about paying their bills or paying their rent or whatever, on top of having to take tests and things like that. So understanding those things, understanding all the different problems that person's having is going to help you to be able to really, so they may not be able to pay for books. Exactly. So all of that's going to, just understanding all of those different problems and being able to speak to them, using their own language and speaking to those specific problems and not just saying, hey, you need more money? Well, this is going to help you. Like, hey, you tired of eating ramen noodles? Well, you're tired of eating like 2-day-old pizza? Well, you know what? There's a solution for that. I'm going to help you generate a little bit of extra cash, and you'll be able to eat out anytime you want. Okay, and then also think about what's the worst thing that could happen if they don't solve their problem. Okay, now keep in mind that people generally have very irrational fears that aren't necessarily the thing that's likely to happen, but they have fears based around what they think the worst possible thing is that could happen, and it's going to make them feel negative emotions. So understanding what the worst thing that could happen is, and thinking about how it's going to make them feel, and speaking to that, that's going to help resonate very strongly with them. So what's the worst thing that could happen if they don't solve the problem. Well, maybe they, they don't have enough money. They get kicked out of their apartment, they get kicked out of their dorm or something, or maybe all of the stress becomes so overwhelming that they get kicked out of school. It just depends on who your target market is, but thinking about things like that, that's all like a lot of times is not necessarily likely to happen, but if you start to bring up these like worst case scenarios, it'll really bring to their mind exactly how bad things could be if they don't find a solution to this. So and then addressing their emotions, the emotions that they feel. Maybe fear. Fear is a big one. Are you afraid that you're going to get kicked out of your dorm because you can't, or you're going to get kicked out of your apartment because you can't afford to pay your bills? Things like that. And that's going to resonate very strongly with them. And if you can make them feel, if you can write good enough copy, you can make them feel that emotion as you're writing, as they're either reading your sales page or watching your video or whatever. So by getting them to start feeling that emotion, it's really going to help when it comes time for the sale, when it comes time for the pitch, because they're going to be reacting to those emotions more than the logical. They're not going to be thinking logically, because people don't think logically when they're making purchases. People generally make purchases based on emotion, and then they go back and rationalize them later on. Maybe think about last time you were at a checkout line and you decided to buy a candy bar spontaneously. You knew it wasn't good for you. You knew there was no reason to buy the candy bar. Your cart's full of groceries already, but for whatever reason, that candy bar was right there. You had an emotional reaction. You just decided that you wanted it in that moment. Then once you bought it, you justified. Oh, well, you know what? I've been really good on my diet for the past couple of weeks, so it's okay if I have this little cheat or whatever, right? So people buy based off of emotion. They go back and rationalize it later. So when you can connect to people and when you can communicate those fears to people and kind of get them to start thinking that way, it's really going to make your copy a lot more powerful. So in addition to thinking about their problems, also think about the solution, right? Because you're not just going to like harp on this horrible thing that could happen to them. You want to offer them a solution and show them that there's a way out. So think about what is the solution that you're offering and what is their ideal solution, right? So what is this person's ideal solution? Is it to be a millionaire on a boat surrounded by bikini models? Or maybe it's just to be able to get through school and graduate without having to starve to death or whatever. So think about what their ideal solution is, and then you want to communicate to them that you can help them achieve that. Think about what they really want and what would they be willing to pay almost anything for. So if you've got maybe, I don't know, as an example, think about somebody that maybe like in their 30s or something, they've got a decent job, but they absolutely can't stand going to work. They can't stand going to work. And all they want to do is be able to work from home, have their own online business, and and make the same amount of money that they made before. How much would somebody pay for that? I mean, if you could guarantee that somebody could quit their job and start working from home and make $100,000 a year, I mean, people will pay a lot of money for that. You can charge somebody like $5, $10, $20,000 for a course if they really honestly believe that you can help them accomplish that goal. So, and that's not something that you can do right off the bat. That's why you have to build trust. That's why you have to build a lot of trust. The more that somebody trusts you, the more money that they're going to be willing to spend. That's why when you send somebody, your initial offer typically is going to be something that's very low cost. That's why when we've been promoting Digital Altitude, I think they're getting rid of the $1 trial, but for a while there's been a $1 trial, right? And the reason for it being $1 is because when people when people see that's an option to pay, that all you're asking is $1, there's a lot less resistance. If you were asking for $100, there'd be a lot more resistance, and it would be harder to get people to buy. So, and then of course, if you're asking for $20,000, then nobody's going to buy. That's why you have to build trust with them. You have to demonstrate that you can help them solve your problem, and this is going to come over time. This is a process. It takes it takes some time. So that's where we get down into the KLT strategy, know, like, and trust. Okay, real quick, I see a couple of questions. Okay, Binu, Heidi, thank you. Yeah, hopefully you're getting a lot out of this. Let's see. Okay, so Vinu asked, is this communication based on the problem and solution to be done over a period of time, and how long do you suggest? Not necessarily. I mean, okay, in its simplest form, on your squeeze page, you can address their problems and solutions. In just a quick, simple example, are you tired of eating ramen noodles? Well, this three-step system will help you generate an extra $2,000 a month so you can eat out anytime you want. There we're addressing the problem, tired of eating ramen noodles, and giving them a solution they can eat out anytime they want, just in that short of amount of time. This is more, what we're talking about here is understanding their problems and understanding their ideal solution, because that's going to allow you to communicate more effectively to them, not only on your squeeze page where you're getting them to sign up to your email list or to your tribe, but also in all the marketing communications that you send out in the future, all of your emails, right? So does that make sense? All right, so the KLT strategy. Very simple, know, like, and trust. So this is 3 steps of getting somebody from the point of not knowing you to having enough trust with you to actually purchase from you. So first step is they got to get to know you. So first, your subscribers must get to know you. So who are you, right? So this is a good time, in your welcome email to let them know a little bit about you, or even on your squeeze page or your thank you page. Probably not necessarily the squeeze page, because you want to keep that simple, but on your thank you page or in your welcome email, let them know a little bit about you, like who are you, why should they listen to you, and that might be that you've been where they've been at. Maybe you started your own online business when you were in college, for example, and now you're making 6 figures a year, so you're going to show them how they can do that as well. So you want to let them know who you are, why they should listen to you, and then keep in mind this is something that you can address right off the bat. But the getting to know you, still, it is a little bit of a gradual process, because as you send out more emails, you're going to have a more opportunity for them to get to know you even a little bit better. And then as you do this, some people are going to like you, and some people your communications are going to resonate with, and some people it just won't. And that's fine. That's just the way it is. So ideally, you want to know who your core target market is, your core audience member, your core customer, and just be authentic to them. Not everybody's going to like you, and you don't need everyone to like you. All you need to do is appeal to your ideal customer, your ideal tribe member, and you're good, and you're gravy, you're good. Because all your communications are going to resonate very strongly with that person, and they're going to be very likely to keep listening to you and to buy stuff whenever you offer it. Some people just aren't going to like you. They're not going to resonate with you. They're not going to get your style of communication. Your marketing communications just aren't going to appeal to them, and they're going to unsubscribe. But that's fine. That's just the way it is. And as long as you're appealing to your core audience that you're targeting, your ideal customer, as long as you're appealing to them, that's all that matters, because that's how you really build a tribe. Just focus on them and be very consistent. Okay. So that brings us to the next phase, where once they know you and they like you, then they can start to begin to trust you. And as I mentioned before, trust is a cornerstone of being able to sell. The degree to which somebody trusts you is directly proportional to how much money they're willing to spend with you. It is absolutely essential for selling high-ticket items, like I was saying before. So you always want to be honest. You want to be very straightforward and honest with your customers. You do have to do a little bit of selling, which might require a little bit of embellishing from time to time, or whatever. But as long as your marketing communications are honest at the core, that's really important. That's going to help you to build trust. And also be consistent. Be consistent with your communications. You don't want to be talking to that college student one day and then talking to somebody that's trying to retire the next day, because that's just going to put everybody off, and everybody's going to unsubscribe because they're not going to relate to you. So you have to be very consistent with your marketing communications, and whenever possible, exceed expectations. So this is a lot easier to do when you're selling your own products, because you can add just a ton of extra bonuses and stuff that they weren't expecting. Or, you know, even if you do a good job, you should always do your due diligence whenever you're promoting any products and make sure that it's a good product that you believe in and feel like will exceed your tribe's expectations when you offer it to them. And you could also, you know, if you don't have your own product, but you do have a good product that you're wanting to promote, you could also exceed expectations by giving them unannounced bonuses that are going to help them get the results that they want quicker. So there's a lot of ways to do that, but by exceeding customers' expectations, it's really going to help to build a lot more trust with them, and they're going to be, you know, willing to spend a little bit more money with you. So before, real quick, I'm going to take another sip of water. My throat's really dry today. All right, so previously I talked about, you know, just brought up that there are ways to communicate with your subscriber without necessarily having to demonstrate that you've had the success that you're promising them. So you want to get people to join your tribe that want to make 6 figures a year online, but you haven't achieved that yet. That's fine. You don't have to. There's a lot of different ways that you can communicate with your subscriber, different voices, so to speak, that you can that take on and help them along their journey from where they're at now to having a 6-figure online business. So you have to figure out what that voice is going to be, and you want to be consistent with it. You don't want to go from one voice one day to another voice another day. It's just not going to work. So you need to be consistent always. So that's, now we're going to decide on what our character is. Okay, so we're kind of going to adopt a character. I'm going to give you 4 different characters, and you decide which one appeals to you the most, and that's what you should adopt. The role of that character to take them on their journey from where they're at now to where they want to be, to what their current problem is, their biggest problem, to their ideal solution. So I'm going to go through the 4. You decide which one best suits you. Be sure to choose only one and make sure that you're always consistent. Okay, so you're always using the same voice. First character is the leader. All right, so this is one where if you have had the type of success that you're promising to your tribe, you would use this one. So this is the leader. The identity of the leader is usually assumed by people whose goal is to lead their audiences from one place to another. Most leaders have a similar backstory to that of their audiences, and therefore know the hurdles and pitfalls the audience members will likely face on the journey to get ultimate results. Usually the desired result has already been achieved by the leader, and his or her audience has come looking for help along the same path. There are most likely leaders you follow in different aspects of your life, and this may be the role that will be the most comfortable for you when communicating with your audience. So again, if you're trying to help your audience build a 6-figure business online, and you've already done that, then you can show them exactly what you did, and you can show them the path, and that's the role of the leader. And that's kind of what we're doing here with you guys as digital insiders. We're showing you how we built our business to generating, at this point, 6 figures a month, okay? And we're working to make it 7 figures a month very quickly. So we're showing you exactly what we're doing, and we're even providing you with a lot of custom materials. So that's the role of the leader. That's the voice of the leader. Now, the next character, the adventurer. The adventurer is usually someone who is very curious but doesn't always have all of the answers. So this is one that's, by the way, a lot of you guys might, this one might appeal to you guys a lot more. That might resonate. It might be something that you can utilize because it doesn't require you to necessarily have had the success that you're trying to help your tribe members get. So again, I'll start from the beginning. The adventurer is usually someone who is very curious but doesn't always have all of the answers. So he or she sets out on a journey to discover the ultimate truth. The adventurer brings back treasures from his or her journey and shares them with his or her audience. This identity is very similar to the leader, but instead of leading the subscribers on a journey to find the result, the adventurer is more likely to bring back the answers and give them to them. So this might work well for you if, say, maybe you're trying to help your audience achieve your tribe build a six-figure online business, but you haven't done that yet yourself. But maybe you have a little bit of experience and you want to bring them into your tribe and let them know, hey, I personally am working on building my own six-figure online business. I've had a little bit of success and I'm constantly trying new innovative ways to grow my business. And I want to offer you some of the solutions that I found and continue to offer solutions as I find them. So then you go out and you find a new email autoresponder that gets better delivery, is better deliverability, so that emails end up in their inbox more. You bring that back to your tribe and say, hey, are you tired of not all of your emails being delivered, some of them going into the spam folders? Well, guess what? I found this solution that's going to help you get even better results. And sometimes it might be something with affiliate commission that you're going to be able to get a commission off of, and sometimes it might just be something that you don't get a commission off of, but it's just you're helping the tribe. That's a way that you can give a lot of value to your tribe. You don't have to make money off of everything. As long as your number one goal is to help them achieve the results that they're seeking, then they're going to be happy to pay you for it when the time comes. So that's the role of the adventurer, and I think that would work really well for a lot of you guys that are newer to this. Another one that you might want to take on, this works really well for people that are newer also, is the role of the reporter. Okay, so this is essentially, you're going out there, you're finding experts and maybe interviewing the experts and bringing the information from those experts back to your tribe. So this identity is often one that people use when they have not yet blazed a trail to share with an audience, but have a desire to. Excuse me. So they put on the hat of the reporter or evangelist and go out to discover the truth. Typically, people who use this identity interview hundreds or dozens, hundreds, or even thousands of people and share those interviews. And they've learned, and all they've learned along the way with their audience. Think of Larry King or Oprah, right? By interviewing people and sharing their stories and lessons, the reporter builds their own following. People keep seeing the reporter with other high-profile people and over time becomes associated with them. Becoming a reporter is a great way to start a business in a niche you don't know much about. So this doesn't require you to have had success yet. All you have to do is find people that have had success and interview them or bring information from them back to your tribe. So another great one that you can use without necessarily having had a lot of success. Now, the reluctant hero is probably going to be one that would be more for people that have had success online or, well, success in whatever your market is. If you have had some success and you want to help your tribe replicate that, that would be more the result, more along the lines of the reluctant hero. This is the humble hero who doesn't really want the spotlight or any fuss made over his or her discoveries, but he or she knows the information or the secrets he or she has are so important that the hero must overcome shyness and share them with the world. There's a moral duty compelling the reluctant hero to share knowledge. Many of you may feel this way naturally. The spotlight is uncomfortable, but you know you need to be there. If that's you, the reluctant hero is the perfect identity for you. So this might be that you've had a lot of success in one area, and you just know that you can help improve people's lives by sharing that with them. And that's basically the reluctant hero. So at this point, does anybody have any questions, comments, or anything before we start to wind down and wrap things up? Yes, so Vinu, the character is the voice, right? Yeah, your voice is going to be like the voice of the character. So pick your character, and that's going to be your voice. The adventurer, okay, the adventurer and the reporter, they're kind of close, but they're a little bit different. So the question was, the adventurer sounds close to reporter. What's the difference? So the adventurer is basically like you are trying to, we'll just use the online business as an example again. You're trying to build your online business, and you are trying different tools and resources to help you build that business. So whenever you find a tool that might be working better than one that you were using before, or maybe a strategy or a tactic or a method that is actually helping you to maybe generate more traffic or increase your conversions or something like that, then you share that with your tribe. You just bring that information back to your tribe. The reporter is less about going out and finding the tools and resources and bringing them back to your tribe. It's more about finding people, like finding people that have had success and sharing their success with your tribe, having them like doing interviews and things like that, and like maybe doing webinars with them and like hosting those for your tribe.